see you made it to T's secret study.
Scholar, the conservatory has opened its doors once more. Wings stretch before us, each alive with a different kind of study. My name is T. This is Paganini. By day, I'm a data engineer, but here I choose whimsy, devotion, and the pursuit of lost arts. Tonight, we will wander together and discover 50 hobbies waiting for your hands, mind, and spirit to claim. Not all will be yours, but one may just change the way you live. Scholar, if you need more guidance, below you'll find a quiz to guide you into your rightful place. Shall we begin? This corridor thrums with unseen vibrations. Strings hum against velvet chairs, pianos breathe dust into candlelight. Wing 1, the Resonant wing. Music learners and composers. This is my core wing. This is where you can usually find me spending my time. Learning an instrument, where comfort zones go to die. The violin will squeak like geese. The piano will sound like pots banging together. But that's the point. Mastery always begins in dissonance. AKA, yes, you will sound like a dying animal, and that's fine. Songwriting and composition. When your diary entries stop being secrets and start becoming courses. Music theory. Math disguised as poetry. Here's where you finally learn why a minor chord feels like heartbreak, or why Studio Ghibli songs sound like home. Music production. Summoning orchestras in the dark, your neighbors filing a strange cinematic noises at 2 a.m. complaint. Listening as a study. Not background noise, but attentive listening. Whole albums in candlelight, tracking motifs. I used to get really excited for my end of the year Spotify wrap-ups, but so far they have been extremely lacking since the AI takeover. So, album collecting. Vinyl, CDs, and even digital libraries, curated like shelves of tomes. Each spine or cover a timestamp of who you were when you found it. Honestly, my vinyl record collection, well, I don't know. I think it kind of speaks for itself. It's literally everything. No rhyme or reason. But music is only one language. Let us step into a wing where words are knives, lullabies, and sometimes both. Wing 2, the Scriptorium, languages and literature. Here, scrolls tower like crooked teeth. The air smells like ink, parchment, and the quiet arguments about syntax. Learn a new language. Humbling, frustrating, but every misstep is a rebellion against silence. Calligraphy. Your first letters will look like curses, which is arguably on brand. Book collecting. One shelf becomes 2, then 6, until the fire marshal raises an eyebrow. My shelves are honestly multiplying like rabbits. Very guilty. Very guilty of doing this to myself. If anybody can relate, please let me know what you're currently reading down below. So, or maybe your book count. If you're keeping count, please let me know I'm not alone. Poetry writing. Napkins, receipts, even margins aren't safe around you. story analysis, and annotating. Basically, after doing this, you'll never read casually again. Foreshadowing will haunt your dreams, and you can even tie this into thinking deeply about your favorite movie or TV series or whatever you're currently watching. You can even join book clubs or movie review groups. World building. Whole empires thriving in notebooks no one asks for. I don't know if anybody's tried this, putting rice on paper and creating your own maps, and this kind of ties into creative writing, which we'll talk about later, but just creating your own languages, your own races, your own culture, a fantasy world that you made up and that you are god of. Writing your own stories, where characters will argue with you at 3 a.m. and you'll lose, but you could also kill them off. I don't know if anybody has heard that quote. I don't know who it's from, but it's careful or you'll end up in my novel. Because, anyway. Oh, Yule wants to play. But ink cannot be caged. Beyond these windows, the ivy insists on growth. Enter the nature wing. Wing 3, the nature wing. Gardeners, herbalists, and naturalists. This wing grows untamed. Flowers press themselves into journals, and ivy creeps across the stone floors. Plant care, aka plant mom. It first starts with a succulent, and then now you're in a jungle. Herbalism. You'll never look at a dandelion or honeysuckle or any native flower the same way again. Technically, it's tea, or it can turn into a spell jar or a tincture. Okay, yes, mine is just tea, but if I drink it in candlelight, it counts. Foraging. My old roommate would actually go out on hikes and then come back with giant slabs of mushrooms, cook them up, eat them, like lion's mane. I don't know. Sometimes I go to the farmer's market. There's a farmer's market that is here every Sunday, and that's where I like to go and pick up different mushy recipes. Terrarium building / spell jar kind of vibes. Tiny bottle worlds. Great until the moss outpaces your self-discipline. Seasonal gardening. Even if you have a tiny balcony like we do, you can still enjoy the season's bounty. Nature journaling and hiking. Sweat and ink. A very 1800s naturalist with a very modern REI jacket. But not all growth is gentle. Shadows coil down the hall where cabinets whisper of oddities. Wing 4, the obscure studies wing. Full of collectors and dreamers. Cabinets of curiosity stretch endlessly. Curiosity is the only currency here. Collecting. Banned books, odd relics, you name it, soon you'll have more than friends. Crystals and mineral study. Pretty rocks. Yes. Also, patience made visible. Bone and insect collecting. Fragile things given reverence. Pressing flowers and leaves. I actually have old books from elementary school that my mom has kept, and they actually have pressed flowers in them. I think some of them are four-leaf clovers, and it's just really cool seeing pressed old weeds from the early 2000s before my little sister was born. Found object collecting, creating, building. I actually have these really cool robots that I buy from an artist on Etsy who creates found object sculptures, and I have a couple of their pieces. Tarot and astrology. Less fortune, more reflection. Yet curiosity breeds questions, and questions demand record. The Archivist wing is waiting. Wing 5, the Archivist wing. Historians and researchers. This wing smells of old paper. Timelines thread the rafters and artifacts whisper when held. Genealogy research. Discovering your great-grandfather was both a shoemaker and a menace. Google your last name and see what chaos comes up. Unless you're like me. History study. The past wasn't noble. It was messy. Just like us. Map and memorabilia collecting. Squiggly lines and ticket stubs become philosophy. Content creator. The story of us. Commonplace books. Memory externalized. Chaos pretending to be order. But memory alone is brittle. Some corridors prefer play. Games, dice, pixels, and invention. Wing 6, the Arcadium. Gamers and inventors of play. Consoles glow against woven tapestries. Half-played boards wait with dice mid-roll. Here, study wears the mask of play. Video games. Crying over pixelated NPC is scholarship here. Tabletop RPGs. Candlelight, dice, and backstories that ruin friendships. Board games. Existential dread disguised as family fun. Chess. Not just a game, but a quiet duel of patience. Every move a philosophy, every blunder a lecture. To study chess is to train both boredom and obsession at once. Puzzle solving. 3 hours moving blocks around equal intellectual growth. Game development. World building with code. Omnipotence at your fingertips. And from play comes invention. Brass gears turn, wires spark. Welcome to the Mechanica wing. Wing 7, the Mechanica wing. This wing hums with invention. Gears tick, wires spark, and blueprints sprawl across tables like living manuscripts. Robotics. Curiosity given bones of wire and veins of copper. Coding and algorithms. The new alchemy symbols that breathe life. Electronic and mechanical tinkering. Circuits as modern spell work. But invention is only half the story. For what is study without companionship? The Menagerie awaits. Wing 8, the Menagerie wing. Animal companionship and caretakers. This wing is never quiet. Feathers rustle, scales glimmer, paws leave ink smudges on forgotten tomes. Pet care and training. Learning not just to feed, but to understand. Animal enrichment and play. Toys as puzzles, play as study. Pet journaling. Habits, quirks, milestones, a living archive. Wildlife study. Birds and branches build a relationship with a neighborhood tree, but caretakers too must rest. Let us pass quietly into the restoration wing. Wing 9, the restoration wing. Rest, ritual, and self-study. Here, nothing is demanded of you. The air smells of tea and warm linen. Meditation. 10 minutes of stillness that somehow you crave again. Self-care rituals. Morning routine, night routine, bedtime routine. All act as a rebellion against the productivity cult. Yoga. Not performance, just remembrance of self. If you have a goblin posture like me, it's a great investment. Journaling. Start with cliches, stay long enough to meet yourself on the page. Bed rotting. Yes. Deliberately doing nothing. Staring at the ceiling, scrolling, napping. It isn't laziness. It's modern monastic practice in surrender. And once restored, you may itch to create. Follow the scent of ink and thread into the Artisan hall. Wing 10, the Artisan wing. Crafters and makers. The scent of ink and thread lingers. Every table is cluttered with possibility. Stained glass, shards of light soldered into sacred windows. Fiber and textile arts. Threads, knots, and needlework binding stories. Miniatures and dioramas. Small worlds brought to life piece by piece. Wood burning and carving. Patterns whispered into timber. Candle making and wax seals. Messy, glorious, and slightly villainous. Sketching, painting, drawing, preserving, and capturing. Ting wings, 50-ish studies. Endless corridors. Not every door is meant for you, but one may alter the rhythm of your days. Scholar, which wing called you tonight?